Chuck Norris is more of a legit fighter than Bruce Lee.
He had fights.
He had fights. Black belt in jiu-jitsu.
You know, what annoys me about this conversation is that, like, there's just as much evidence for Chuck Norris being a legitimate fighter as Bruce Lee.
The source of trust me, bro.
And this isn't a dig at Chuck Norris at all. Like, I have a black belt in Tong Soo Do.
Gesundheit.
I performed Chi Sao at his 50th birthday celebration.
Now, brother, that should be what your entire post is about. Tell us about that.
Go on YouTube right now and look for footage of Chuck Norris's early fights in like the mid to late 60s. You're not going to find them. And you know why? It's not because they necessarily don't exist. It's because the personal camcorder was invented in 1983.
It took me about 24 seconds to find Chuck Norris fighting Joe Louis in a sold-out Madison Square Garden with a full camera crew recording it.
All we have from both of these people are eyewitness accounts and like maybe news stories, because that's all we had back then. Look, I get that Brendan Schaub is a more accomplished mixed martial artist than I am, but I've been doing martial arts since like 1985.
That's very impressive. I wasn't even born yet.
I didn't just choose martial arts because my football career didn't pan out.
Now that is the dickhead comment that made me make this video. What have you done? You were TumTum in the Three Ninjas 40 years ago? Congratulations, brother. He made it to the NFL. Do you know how hard that is? It is next to impossible. And after his NFL career, short as it may have been, he made it to the UFC, the pinnacle of martial arts existence. That's him. You were a fat kid in a movie 40 years ago.
I just don't understand why you have such high standards for Bruce Lee that you don't apply to somebody like Chuck Norris, when being a karate champion in the 1970s means you beat like 2 to 3 guys in a high school gymnasium at a point karate competition.
65-5 was his record. He fought in Madison Square Garden.
Look, we know Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris were some of the greatest, most influential martial artists of their time, in the same way that we know that Galileo and Isaac Newton were some of the greatest scientists of their time. And the phrase "of their time" is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, because what it meant to be the best then is very different than what it means to be the best now.
What the hell Newton and Galileo do to you?
In the same way that like an 18-year-old freshman at Harvard probably knows more about physics than Isaac Newton did.
Because they read the books Newton and Galileo wrote.
But I digress. All I'm saying is that there's just as much evidence of Chuck Norris's pre-movie career accomplishments as there is for Bruce Lee.
No, there isn't.
Yet you choose to believe Chuck Norris's stories more than you choose to believe Bruce Lee's stories because, you know, Chuck Norris didn't die in 1974 or whatever. Oh, Chuck Norris is more of a fighter than Bruce Lee was because he has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Well, yeah, also Chuck Norris didn't die of a brain aneurysm, so there's that too.
Chuck Norris won the professional middleweight karate championship 6 consecutive times from 1968 to 1974. He also won the All-American Karate Championship in 1967, 68, and 69. He earned the Triple Crown for most tournament wins. His competitive karate record was 65-5 with wins over notable fighters like Joe Louis, Skipper Mullins, and Luis Delgado. He was named Fighter of the Year by Black Belt Magazine in 1969. Norris retired from competition in 1974 as the undefeated professional full-contact middleweight champion. Norris was voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame and received Instructor of the Year in 1975.